Globally, rape is recognized as the most serious form of sexual violence. Non-consensual sex, where the perpetrator is the victim's spouse, is known as marital rape. Today, more than 100 countries have enacted marital rape as a criminal offence. Unfortunately, Bangladesh is not one of these countries.
Full of hope and dreams of the future.
My knight in shining armor, my protector.
The man of my dreams.
We met through friends. He worked in a multinational bank, rising executive. He said all the right things. I was 20, fresh out of university and smitten.
We met at work. After our marriage, I worked hard on being the good housewife, and he worked hard to provide for us. He was considerate and loving, his business growing day by day.
We've been married for 28 years now. People call us middle-aged. Both of us worked in the government sector our entire life. I have even turned down promotions, so not to overtake him. We have raised two beautiful daughters together. They live abroad now, creating lives of their own. My husband is very proud of them, by the way, educated and strong.
My wedding night.
3 years into our marriage.
After 20 years of marriage.
Submission. Submit to thy husband.
Obey. Thou shalt obey thy husband.
At his disposal, whenever, wherever he demanded in the house.
My wedding night, I thought I would be met with love, gentleness, and patience. Instead, he forced himself onto me, biting me, choking me, force and assault. I was left red, raw, and discarded. Overnight, I became a shell of myself, more hollow after every night with him.
He started watching porn after the birth of our first child. Obsessively, compulsively. He demanded I act out what he liked. I begged him to think of our religion, how that act was forbidden. Obey me, he demanded. I'm your husband. You have no right to refuse me. Your body is mine to do what I want to. Now get down on all fours.
After I became the sole owner of our home, after his accident, he just changed. His disability didn't change him. If anything, it changed was his fueled anger and desire. He felt emasculated because I was the breadwinner now, except for sex. Here, he had complete control because I had none. As I was walking out the door, bringing him morning tea, going for work, whenever, however, he wanted me, he would take me.
Every day, dreading the signals of my husband's desires.
Submitting to sex, even when it's clearly unwanted.
Pain of the lack of emotional connection. I did not
feel
feel desired.
Having to wake in the morning after a night of torture, prepare his breakfast, and make polite conversation.
Him acting like he has done nothing wrong, telling me how much he enjoyed last night.
Not being able to confide in anyone, bearing the shame and degradation all on my own.
I have tried to initiate intimacy in the bedroom, but the only way he can be satisfied if he takes me at his will, his way. True, he is not so savage anymore, but now I feel nothing.
I once asked him, how would you feel if someone was treating our daughters this way? He slapped me and told me not to be so vulgar. For one moment, I knew I'd hit a nerve.
Sex should be a gift, given freely to each other. And there's a difference between sex and intimacy. All I want is intimacy. He just performs the acts. For him, it is about control.
Would it be okay if I take money from your wallet without asking you, without telling you? Would it be okay if you said no and I still took it?
But marriage, that's two souls coming together. Why do you need permission? That's what a friend once told me.
It's your duty as my wife to please me, to fulfill my needs. But what about my needs, my desires?
How easy it is to understand that you can't take money from someone without their permission. But when it comes to my body, then you don't have to ask.
As husband and wife, we still discuss, disagree, and argue about everything else, about making decisions about everything else. Then why is it that sex is not up for discussion?
We both have responsibilities to each other, right? Shouldn't he also be living up to them? Respecting, loving, caring for me, and not to force himself on me?
It is still my body, a separate entity from you.
I have my own pleasures, my own displeasures.
I should get to decide too. I need to give you my consent.
Leave him. But he is a good father to our children. He earns well and provides for us. I cannot break apart my family.
Leave him? But I made a commitment for life to him and my God the day we were married.
Leave him? But he was such a good husband before this accident of his. I have had 20 years feeling this love, this intimacy. I must remember this now when he takes me at his will.
Stay with him? But what about me?
My rights.
My body.
My desire.
But tell me, what choice do I have?
What would you do? And you? And you? If you were in my shoes rather than yours.